over our investigative bureau. To the right, State's Attorney Joe Briscato, and to his right, the head of the chief of the criminal division for Joe's office, Marilyn Height Ross. We're here to release further information on the case we talked about for the missing persons that began on Monday. On Wednesday, February 21st, 2018, investigators reviewed the investigation with the Winnebago County State's Attorney's Office. As a result, charges were authorized and a warrant was obtained for Hand Son for 2 counts of kidnapping. On Thursday, February 22nd, at approximately 4 a.m., detectives located Hand Son's vehicle, a white 2007 Toyota Scion, traveling near the intersection of 10th Street and 12th Avenue in Rockford. Detectives began following the vehicle at low speeds, while at the same time they were able to establish phone contact with the driver, who was determined to be Hand Son. Detectives attempted to persuade Hand to surrender, but he refused. Officers and detectives continued to follow Hand Son's vehicle into the 2500 block of 11th Street, where they attempted to perform a traffic stop. Hand Son failed to stop in his vehicle, then struck an unmarked police vehicle. The suspect vehicle then drove onto the shoulder on the west side of the street over a mound of snow, and it overturned and landed on its roof. As detectives were approaching the suspect vehicle, they heard a single gunshot from inside. Once officers and detectives were able to safely approach the vehicle, they located Hand Son inside with what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head. Hand Son was transported to a local hospital where he later died as a result of the injuries. Detectives recovered a handgun from inside the vehicle that was believed to be used by Hand Son in his self-inflicted gunshot wound. Shortly after the vehicle crashed, detectives acting on information received during the investigation responded to Blackhawk Park, 101 15th Avenue in Rockford. At that time, detectives located the remains of 2 individuals later determined to be Danielle Son and Sergio Quiroz. The cause of deaths are pending on the outcome of the autopsy from the Winnebago County Coroner's Office. This is an ongoing investigation, and no further details are available at this time. Further information will be released when it's available and when we can. I will have State's Attorney Briscato say a few words if you'd like to.
The Winnebago County State's Attorney's Office has been working closely with the Rockford, certainly now with the Coroner's Office. Also let all of you know that the Winnebago County Coroner Bill Hintz is here today as well. And during the course of this investigation, including and up to the charges that were issued, as well as the investigation that continued into today's early morning hours and into today. The Winnebago County State's Attorney's Office is continuing to work with the Rockford Police Department. As the Chief indicated, this is an ongoing investigation. We'll do our best to answer any questions with regards to this matter, but I do want to then stress that we're continuing to review this matter as we move forward. Chief?
If there are any questions, we'll try to answer them. There's some, obviously, investigation-wise we can't answer, but we'll take questions.
Do you have any preliminary information on potential cause of death of the 2 bodies that were covered in Blackhawk Park?
We don't have any until the coroner performs the autopsy. At that time, we'll know what the cause of death was.
Just to kind of clarify your question, I think certainly at this point in time there's some idea of what the cause of death is, but releasing that information hastily until the coroner's had an opportunity to do his work in his office is probably what we can't go to yet today. But to answer your question more specifically, we certainly have some general idea, but we'll wait for the coroner's report.
Are you looking for anybody else?
The investigation's ongoing. So when they complete the investigation, we'll do another release and we'll finalize it once we review it all with the state's attorney's office.
Chief, I'm sorry if I missed it. What led police to Blackhawk Park?
Information developed during the investigation.
Was that citizen information, can you say? Just information that led you there, okay.
And did you say exactly where at Blackhawk Park they were from? You said they.
And we didn't say where in the park. It was at Blackhawk Park, 101 15th Avenue.
Confirming the area of the crash today, it's around Harrison and 11th Street. Is that where the initial end of the pursuit for Hanson?
2500 block of 11th Street. Yes.
Can you provide any more details about the warrant and charge with regard to the kidnapping? What led to that?
That charge is still pending right now.
The Rockford Police Department, as I indicated, was working closely with my office, the State's Attorney's Office, and the information that was provided to us was sufficient to justify issuing charges for kidnapping against the suspect who is now deceased. I don't want to go into too much more detail because, as we've indicated, it is an ongoing matter, and we can't foreclose whether or not others are involved or were involved. And we want to make sure that we thoroughly explore that, investigate it, and come to the right conclusion. We certainly don't want to impede those investigations or the potential of a future prosecution.
Any other questions?
Correct me if I'm wrong, you said that you were able to reach the suspect by phone during that pursuit?
Correct. The investigators were speaking with him on the phone.
What was his state? Did he say anything in that pursuit that...
Those are details we won't go into right now.
When we spoke to neighbors a few days ago, they said that there had been calls to that house between the couple beforehand. Is there any idea for motive?
We couldn't go into motive right now, pending the investigation.
Can you tell us the update on the children?
I don't know the current status. I believe they're with the family, but they're safe with the family of Danielle.
Did you find the other dog?
Yes.
Can you say where?
I'm not sure we want to really go
Is
into
the
that.
dog alive?
Dogs are alive, yes.
Both dogs are alive.
If there's no other questions, I want to make one comment. We talk a lot about domestic violence here in the city. This is a domestic, obviously, case, and it's something we continue to struggle with and something we continue to work on. So, going forward, our detectives continue to work with the city on domestic violence initiatives, and hopefully we get further along.
Questions? A lot of the questions I know were stuff that we couldn't go into great detail on. As I've mentioned in the past, it's not that we're not capable of giving you that information at a later date. It will be made available. A lot of your questions, I understand why you're asking them. That information we'll be glad to give to the public through the media and otherwise once we've completed certain stages of the investigation. And make sure that everyone's aware of that. And be patient. We'll do that. I also want to echo the Chief's thoughts. Clearly, domestic violence has become a very big focus in our community. And we are looking to employ tools, talent, and skills to address that. But we definitely understand that it is a concern that needs to be addressed now, not later.
Great. Thank you all for coming, and we'll get you updates when we can.